What's up, people? Welcome to the channel. Got another episode of the Chaos List. This is episode 19.
Yes,
Oh,
wait,
here
just
we
a
go. We're
second.
starting already.
Just a second. No. I want to say there's congratulations in order for Mr. Onzo over here.
Oh,
100
thank you.
subs finally. Everybody, congratulations to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, listen,
Now,
that first 100 is always a fun mark to make. So,
yep. Now we
congratulations.
just
I
gotta
just wanted to say that.
continue going, and I appreciate that. So since you started, we're gonna let the people tell where to find you guys. So go ahead, Chris. Start it off.
Well, I'm Chris Knight. You can find me here on Chaos Central if you're watching over on that channel on Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. Actually, it starts out on Mondays with Danny Graham on Chaotic Chat doing the Chaotic Conversation. On Tuesday, we're here on Onzo's channel and also over on Chaos Central, and we do the Chaos List. And then on Sundays, we wrap it up at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Rule of Three over on my channel and again here on Chaos Central. Also, again, Real Review 3000 is my channel. Trying to get up to 3,000 subs. Please go over there. If you're not yet subscribed, please do subscribe. And thank you again. I appreciate you doing this, Onzo. You're doing a great job.
I try my best, man. That's all I can really do. I appreciate it, though. JJ, Mr. Sith Lord, tell the people where to find you.
What's going on, everybody? Oh, hang on.
Oh.
Okay, I didn't think my mic was on. Let's try it again.
No, your mic's on.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy JJ. You can find me a little bit everywhere. Sometimes you find me here. Sometimes Mary Mayhems, Han Stars, Chris Knights. I'm a stream whore. So, but you can also find me on my own channel. I do my own weekly live stream called Randomness at its Finest. Random panel, random topics. Who knows? It normally starts anywhere between 10 and 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. And you can find me right here on Twitter at SithLord3827. You know, sometimes I tweet, sometimes I retweet, sometimes I don't. It's a lottery. Come check it out. Thanks for having me again. I appreciate it, guys.
No problem. Thanks for coming on. And now my two partners in crime, Mr. Baldman Bad One. Tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter via this handle. You can check out my weekly podcast with host at Mike Shrews, at Operation Babel. We just pretty much just two dudes chatting about pop culture, anything that comes to mind. If you want to find me on YouTube, I have either Baldman Bad or BMB Studios. It's got kind of more of my older stuff, like some editing work I've done, and then the Baldman channel is more gaming. I might go into some rants. Like I was thinking about pulling some of my funnier rants out of the podcast and maybe doing some slick edits with it. I have a Men in Black International one that I kind of want to repost and because I hate that film. So there you go. But it's nice to be on. Congratulations, Onzo. I missed you on Sunday, so I just need to get my my Onzo fill. So that's why I popped on today.
Glad you came on. Much appreciated.
Why does that scare me?
Oh, as it should.
Yeah, it should. Mr. Danny Graham, I noticed you changed Comic Chat to Danny now, eh?
Yeah, decided to change. Everybody come did it. So.
And he's already shaking his head at us too, man. Already shaking his head.
Really. I missed the first question that he sent out, but I'm curious to see what it's going to be. But of course, I am Danny, my aka Comic Chat. You can reach me several nights throughout the week. Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We had a great show last night where we ranked our favorite 5 Michael Jackson and Prince songs. I think next week we're doing 1999 movies, so that should be interesting. Of course, you can catch me here on Tuesday nights. Saturday afternoons around 4, you can catch me and Onzo and Roberto doing Square One with Totally Sports. This week should be very interesting. I see some things popping up we're going to discuss. Also, Sunday, you can catch me twice, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, along with Chris and Onzo on the Rule of Three. And then 2 hours later at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch me, John, Onzo, and Terrence, where we mainly discuss Stargirl, which I was told was a very exciting episode. I won't be able to watch it until later on tonight. But,
so, Danny, I got to ask, after the Prince stuff in are you guys going to perhaps party like it's 1999 when you review those
Sure.
movies?
Oh, we have after party.
We
Uh,
party
anybody?
like that. We party like that all the time.
And 1999, Phantom Menace, baby. Let's just remember that.
Oh boy, I still say
Chris
this
was
was one of
actually
the.
a genius when he made that song because he did it like I think 8 or 9 years before 1999. So it kind of redid this gather re-energized it and played even more.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually a very
retired.
strategic.
He retired it on December 31st of 1998 as the new year went through. He retired. He played that song last time.
And then it turned into like a death anthem because everybody thought the world was ending with Y2K.
It was like, but he did a New Year's Eve concert from Paisley Park that year on 98 to 99, and that was a freaking awesome concert.
Yeah. Well, the Prince thing, 1999, like you said, man, he had those hits. That was a great show. Good stuff, Danny. You know where to find me. This channel, Bigger Ford Entertainment, and basically all the stuff Danny just said, you know, so I don't have to repeat all of that stuff. You guys know. I appreciate you guys for helping me get to 100 subscribers. You know, I really appreciate that. Now we just got another goal to get to and take it from there.
I would like to also ask people to please, if you are watching this on Chaos Central, please go and subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. Trying to get that channel up to 100 subscribers. Also, if you're over here on Bigger Ford Entertainment and you're not yet subscribed there, jump over real quick and just subscribe. Come back here though. You can open up two windows and have them both running. It doesn't matter.
So needy.
Listen,
So needy. Ooh.
it's a brand.
Yeah, just
Jump
what
on
we
my
need.
OnlyFans.
Just what we need. Chris,
You know?
Chris in stereo. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, great. So great stuff, guys. Like once again, I appreciate all you guys coming on. We're gonna get this started with our first question. Danny, you're off the hook today. I could not think of an honorable mention for you today.
Thank you. Thank you.
So lucky.
Actually, I can.
Let's do it.
No.
Honorable mention.
Let's do it.
Honorable mention. How many people want to see Danny dance the Thriller dance? Let's get you guys in there. Tell us.
Hey,
I'll
never
settle.
gonna happen.
I'll settle for a moonwalk.
There you go.
Yeah,
How many
well,
people want to see Danny moonwalk?
Hey,
Look.
never gonna happen.
So what I heard is Danny's going to moonwalk at the end of his 10-hour stream, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah, I do that.
See, right there, you have it confirmed. Danny is not only doing a 10-hour stream, but he is also going to moonwalk after that 10 hours.
End of the sun hours.
That is
I
correct.
feel like Terrence
That is
is
correct.
feeling like a disturbance in the force right now.
Danny, you will get so much subs. I'm down for that. Just let me know when you want
Whenever
to do.
you see me do a 10-hour stream, that's when I'll do it.
All right, I'm gonna set up a day. We're gonna do it.
Okay.
All right.
I can tell you right now, I won't be there.
Oh, that hurts, Danny.
10
That
hours,
hurts.
and I told y'all. Oh hell!
10 hours is easy to do.
This movie ain't
Yeah,
even come
it
out
is.
yet, and I'm sick of it already.
well, well, the question isn't really about Tenant. So, basically, it's blockbuster movies should release on schedule. Now, the Theater Owners Association boss wants blockbusters released in theaters despite most cinemas still being shut down. Distributors should stick with their dates and release their movies because there's no guarantee that more markets will be open later this year. In an interview, John Fithen, or whatever the hell his last name is, the head of the National Association of Theater Owners, stated that releasing movies in theaters, despite most theaters chains still being shut down, is the only reasonable option for studios. Do you agree, or do you think that they should still hold off on releasing these blockbuster movies? Whoever wants to start can go.
Well, personally, it would be nice if we can get back to some form of normality, but at the same time, movie theaters, bars, gyms, anywhere that you get concerts, plays, just wherever you get a group of people, it would be great to get back to a sense of normality, but you got to be safe about it.
Mhm.
And it's going to be hard for movie theater owners or even big chains to do that when they can't fill the seats. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's all about money, guys. It's all about money, because if they can't afford to fill the seats, then they're going to have a hard time keeping the establishments open. But
I agree with you.
but still in the same aspect, who doesn't want to watch a good movie? You know, don't get me wrong. I love sitting in my chair and watching all the movies I can get my hands on. But it's the theater experience that people have grown to love, and if they can't go experience it, I believe if things don't change very, very soon, that the theater experience as we know it, if at all, is not going to exist anymore. It's going to fade away.
I don't buy that, but I will say
But,
this: that
but Chris, I'm not saying overnight. I'm saying eventually.
even
Well,
then,
it seems like digital is the way to go right now, right? The
well, yeah,
only
but
issue,
that's the only option you got.
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
I mean,
You
so
go
It's like
digital,
saying nobody's
VOD.
going to buy vinyl records 10 years from now.
Exactly. It's like, okay, so what you're saying is there's no option or digital option. Well, of course you're going to go for digital. That's the only option you got right now.
I know.
As soon as those theaters open, I don't care how small an opening it is. I don't care how many people they limit it to. There will be people. I live in a state that has, the party lake thing going on. The first weekend they opened that up, they were max capacity, according to the people who were open, 50%, which was what the state was saying was allowable. And nobody gave a shit. They were piling their boats up, tying them together, partying like nothing was going on. These theaters open, they're going to go.
Yeah, but people are scared. A lot of people are gonna go though. I went to the theater already, and I went to go see. I mean, it was Empire Strikes Back, but there was still like only 10 people in the theater. You know what I mean? But the theater itself was completely empty. People are still scared to go. So a movie like Tenet, that's supposed to be a blockbuster movie, and it's supposed to make like $1 billion, or it could break $1 billion. They can't bring that out until movie theaters go back to normal, so it'll never make back the money.
This is and I feel like there's a lot of facets to this. So let's work with the idea. First off, one of my biggest issues with like dates and release dates and things like that is I think it's a huge problem to announce a film that hasn't even had a script yet or things like that. And it's happening constantly. This is something I was talking to Hannah about the other day, this weird entitlement that we have and I hate to throw that word around because I know it fucking triggers people, but this weird idea that we have to have the film come out when they said, or like, even giving us a release date. I mean, some of the greatest movies we've been talking about were in development for years, and we didn't even know they existed. Spider-Verse had years and years and years of development before even getting an announcement. Greatest Showman took like 7 years just to get started, and that was like a big old pop culture phenomenon for a minute. And just stuff like that, I think Lord of the Rings kind of changed stuff up a little bit because they had a plan and they filmed all 3 consecutively at the same time and released them year by year. And like the prequels pseudo did something like that. So I think people got used to these movies coming out like, within a couple of years of each other. And especially with Marvel, you keep thinking people are like, well, it's a Marvel movie, so they're going to put it out every year, but it's not like, it's like these movies were working all at the same time. So I think we just got really used to stuff coming out consistently. And that's why we were seeing maybe some quality dips or maybe that talk of formulas constantly that people don't really like. And nowadays, especially when everybody wants to have a podcast or a review show or something like that, one of the main grievances a lot of creators have is that it's too hard to review everything. And right now you're seeing this weird resurgence of people going back and watching old stuff and comparing it to the new stuff and really enjoying really old content. And I think that should be worrisome for theaters, but I don't think that idea will ever go away. Like we'll see a lot of companies go bankrupt, but once they can't hold it and we go back to normal, it's just going to be a new company. Instead of seeing an AMC, we're going to see Bob's super theater instead.
AMC is going to get bought, and it's going to probably stay AMC. It's already been bought once before, and if it goes through bankruptcy or whatever, it'll get bought again, whatever. But the thing is that, again, I keep saying it right now, however these studios can put money into drive-ins, or these movie theater companies can put money towards drive-ins and make some sort of a deal to allow movie companies to release these movies, then I think right now that's where their money is. Because there's no way in hell, and I think, John, you were saying it, that Christopher Nolan, this was going to get postponed, and we knew it would, and it got postponed. Why? Because they know the amount of money that's in there. This is not the only reason, but one reason. The amount of money that's in it will never get recouped from digital. Never.
Yeah, I know.
And it's already in the can. You're not losing money.
Exactly.
So I don't know. I just
on it.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's why they're waiting to release it.
Yeah,
because this is a film that they predict will make $1 billion, right?
It's Christopher Nolan, dude. He puts butts in seats.
Yeah,
it's into Inception. You know what I mean? Supposedly. So it's definitely supposed to be one of those movies that make $1 billion. You can't put that out now because there's no way it's going to make $1 billion if you put it out now.
And then why even bother? Because if we watch it, everybody's going to do the same thing. They're going to watch it. And then when the theaters open up, people are going to clamor to see it in the theaters regardless. And at that point, you're kind of like doing yourself a disservice. Like, boo-hoo, I have to wait one more year. Like, so what? Like, I didn't even know this movie existed a year ago. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Mike's got a point here. Mike does have a point. They're spending big bucks. Like, Netflix is spending big bucks on movies. And he's right that some of these movies that are made by studios are contractually obligated to go to theaters. But at the same time, Netflix has even found that splitting it by being on Netflix and being in theaters at the same time, like they did with Shaft and other things, actually helps the profitability of it. So
yeah, but I mean, are we going to compare a Christopher Nolan film to a Netflix and original film?
No,
I mean that's just silly.
No, we're not. But what he does say there has some legitimacy. Netflix is doing it, but that's because Netflix isn't losing money on something that they put themselves into. Because if they lose money on it, they'll write it off. And somehow they're going to get bailed out of it. There's going to be enough people. And like Disney Plus, every time something big comes out there that people want, they're gonna get a subscription to it and then cancel it as soon as they see what they want. And all this stuff that's fine and dandy. But for, again, Christopher Nolan movies, the Marvel movies, these movies are going to rely on the theater. And if they have to wait, they're going to wait. These movie studios right now, I won't say they're not panicking, but they're not in total disarray yet. And I think a lot of them believe that we're going to have something on the horizon by the end of the year, and maybe just saying, let's just count this year as a loss and go out. And again, the government typically will bail out these companies and stuff like that. They all have handshake deals, and I don't think anybody's really worrying. And again, while AMC, for instance, the world's largest theater chain, was bought by a Japanese company. It's located right here in Kansas, in Overland Park, Kansas, and it's headquartered in the United States still. The United States is not going to let AMC just drop out of existence because it's kind of one of those pillars in the world that we know that it kind of helps our economy. So I just don't see, I mean, again, think of Amtrak. They didn't let the train system just go to hell. They bought out the train system. I mean, I don't think we're going to all be going to a United States-owned theater company, but I think that they'll find a way to bail them out like they do the auto companies and stuff like that. It's just a part of life. And right now, government, for better or for worse, is looking for a way to keep things at a place where not everything goes silent, not everything goes and freaks out the world. They want things to at least appear like they can be going back to normal at some point.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So I mean, there's going to be some changes after this all comes back around and after things start going back to normal. There, like John said, it may not be AMC. It may be, Joe Blow company, whatever, but it's still going to be there.
Mm-hmm. So. Mr. Danny Graham, you've been very quiet. What's up?
I'm just waiting till everybody finish because I don't want to be disturbed once I get on my roll.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
I'm going to take what JJ said about normalcy. The Americans are going to mess it up. This is why. Because most Americans don't have discipline. In order for us to get through this crisis, you got to have strict policies put in place, and you got to adhere to those policies. You can't rush the process. You got to close down for 6 weeks. You got to close down for 6 weeks. But the first thing they're going to say if something come out, well, I'm grown. That's violating my rights. I'm not going to wear the mask. Well, this stuff is going to continue to snowball. It's going to continue to delay us from getting back to normal. So they rather have, like Chris said, in Kansas City, and not only there, here and where I live at and everywhere else, the first opportunity they get a chance to drink beer, alcohol, go partying, tie up boats or whatever, they're going to do it. And then when the cases start skyrocketing, then that's when they get scared. The only time Americans really get scared of most people when they go to the doctor's office and find out something, the doctor says, okay, if you don't stop this, you're going to die in 2 or 3 weeks or whatever the case would be. Then there'll be discipline. But then once that fear tapers off, they go back to their same habits. That's the same thing will happen with these movies. Unless we tighten up and close down, like Canada seems to be doing in other parts of the country, and get these numbers down, then we can get back to normalcy. But if we don't, ain't no telling when we're going to see a movie in the theaters. It's our own fault.
Anybody want to take a bet or not bet? But
I don't think there's any. You guys are not getting any movie. Well, neither us, because if you guys don't get it, we ain't getting it. Yeah. But I don't think any movie's coming out this year.
No, I don't either. But I would say February of next year.
I think it'd be stupid to. I mean, it's one of those things where there's enough streaming services, there's enough stuff you can put out. Just watch the stuff that's out now. Just hold off, and then we'll finally have a whole year, and it gives us a chance to let writers write again. Yeah. People aren't under these time constraints now. We can put out all the stuff that should have been out this year. We can put it out, February or March of next year, and people can be writing scripts and doing production, playing catch up. It'll be way better. Hopefully. I say that.
Right now, Netflix got the jump. If I was them, I'd be pumping out original stuff just as fast as somebody can send it into.
They can't make it any more than anybody else can make it.
Yeah. It's still a production issue.
Everybody is under the same problem.
No, but I think I'm pretty certain that Netflix has movies they hadn't released yet because they already had them like stockpiled.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. No other company can say they have stuff stockpiled.
Well, Disney does.
If that's the case on Disney Plus, we'd be seeing new material now.
They've got it. I just think they're waiting.
They
tried to do it with Hamilton. That kind of backfired. Anybody should have been able to see that was going to backfire right now. But here's the thing. John's absolutely right. This gives them a chance to go back, and anything that was in pre-production where they have a script, they can actually be sitting down and say, okay, let's work this out. Let's call these actors up. Let's get on a Skype call or a Zoom call. Let's read this and hear how it sounds, and let's see if we need to work some stuff out. And then
let me ask you this question. If the NFL, in particular, the NBA has figured out how to do the bubble, why can't the hell these production companies do the same thing with a bubble and make a movie?
Because it doesn't.
Because there's way more mechanics.
Yeah,
you just can't do that.
Totally I'm talking about in a studio. In a studio, why can't they do a large portion of it?
You got hair and makeup. You got people touching each other constantly. You're under hot light. You're under hot lights that are pretty much turning sets into petri dishes. Yeah, if you want to shoot, and eventually, not everything can be done in a studio. You got to go on location. And then you're talking about the other expenses of playing the healthy game, sanitizers and stuff. I mean, look at Disney. Disney World's been trying to do that shit, and they're running out of hand sanitizer every 2 minutes. I mean, just the idea of putting on quote unquote a production requires a lot more hands than anything. When you do something like pro wrestling or basketball or football, you just need the team. Like if you keep the stands empty, just put everybody on the field and do whatever. And especially with basketball, there's only 10 people on the field versus like you try to do a soccer match or football, you got like 30 people on the field at a time.
I'll give you a lot more moving. Go ahead, Anzo.
So there's still going to be the reporters. There's still going to be the TV cameras. There's
You're a reporter,
but they're way over there, and you can put them up in the box. And
listen, I just watched.
They're on the basketball court, so their players are already full contact with.
Wait. Yes, but I just watched a baseball game today. They had like 5 people in the dugout, and everybody else was spread along the stands. And they're going to do the same thing with the basketball. Yes. When they're on the when they're on the court, when they're on the field, there's going to be that contact. But here's the thing:
they're going to get tested right after.
Yeah, you're gonna know who. You're not going to be wondering, okay, who touched who. On a movie production, there are hundreds of people you will never see running around there. But then imagine you're starting production and your 2 leads, because they had to do a makeout scene, now are both sick, and now production shut down because you can't shoot without. What are you gonna make 2 blow-up dolls be their stand-ins? Like, what are you gonna do? I mean, the only
basketball, right now, you just move down the roster.
Yeah, the only thing I know right now that's running, and I think they start showing them this next week or sometime this week, I can't remember, is a couple of soap operas.
Yeah, they just started with The Bold and the Beautiful today.
Yeah, and it is, that's just, I saw the Young and the Restless, I think today was a 1984 episode. I was
Mike was telling me something about that, how like they were bringing in significant others for like
yes
they would pull an actor out, put the significant other in, and they would do like the kissing thing, and then they'd go.
It's like, oh my god.
I'm like, wow, but that's a soap opera. You're already sitting there going like, that's still on.
Exactly.
Dandelion Fluff said filming is going on here in Canada. And it is, but our cases are not even close to you guys.
No, and that's I mean, here's the thing: not everything is going to be completely shut down.
That's because they got discipline. Americans don't. But just because they got Americans, fuck it, we do what the hell we want.
They also aren't having 5 billion fucking riots.
But case in point,
we had riots. We had riots.
Like on our level though, like in our kind of states that were already growing. I mean, look at LA when July 4th happened and they blew up fireworks for a whole day.
Look at my protest video. There were thousands of people out there, man. Thousands, right? It's just we are careful. We're sanitizing. We're wearing our masks. Like I'll walk down the street and people will be crossing the street just to stay their distance from me, So
it's just racism right there. That's what that is.
I was thinking the same thing, bro. This is
damn.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Danny. That was for you.
That was cold, John.
Well, to be fair, I've always practiced that with everybody my entire life, so that works out perfect.
Well, yeah, I felt that way because they say stay at least 6 foot away from one another. I'm thinking that ain't enough.
You're like, that's easy.
Yeah, right? Stay away from me.
No, I mean, I love my weekends right now because I'm the only person in the facilities department during the day that's working during the weekends. So I love it because I get a call, I go, and I'm by myself. Nobody around me. I'm like, that's how I want it.
Yeah, I get it. And right now, it's mandatory for us here to wear mask in any store. Right? Yeah. They just started that maybe about a week ago. I think
that's the same thing here.
Pretty much the same.
Wear indoors.
Yeah.
But with you guys' cases, that should have been started like months ago.
But it's because what we have in it right now is politics, not people saying, listen, here's the facts. Why don't we do this and get it over with? No, you got to have people on both sides saying, "Oh, do it," and other people over there going like, it's not that important."
To me, it's crazy if an expert, a certified expert, we know he's expert, tells you something and you choose to ignore it. Then
when you have crazy politicians
that know more than the experts
calling out the experts that they personally chose originally and saying that they're full of crap, that's a problem.
Well, the problem is that people have been getting caught lying. Twitter fucked everything up, dude. Like Twitter has fucked everything because it can go out so fast and people are too lazy to proof check. They want confirmation bias. They don't want actual information. And like we're gonna see it right now. Like we're seeing it with the Johnny Depp Amber Heard shit. We're seeing it with Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend. People were already fucking making jokes about when she's gonna get COVIDed or whatever. And we saw the stuff with the judge, and people go, "We've lost control." That's the problem. And the big deal is people feel so fucking powerless about everything, and they think everybody's fucking lying to them, which the sad part is the majority is. People are spinning stuff all the time. Nobody knows who to go to for the truth anymore. And because of that, fucking everybody thinks a conspiracy is going on. Everybody's got a tinfoil hat on, and we're literally down to the point where it's I don't want to wear a mask.
I was wearing a tinfoil hat before it was cool, just so you know.
But you know, it's shiny, and especially with me with a bald head, it molds really, really good and keeps the heat off.
The hair does get in the way, but what's cool is after a while it gives this copper effect to the hair.
Well, it's because you guys haven't evolved like me and Danny to have nice shiny heads.
Well, you know, I fry my brain. I fry my brain as it is. I don't need no help.
Fair enough.
What's the next topic?
Yeah.
We will move on to the next one. Thanks for taking control of my show, though, Chris. I appreciate that.
I know, right? Just another white man taking over, just whitewashing.
I didn't even know I didn't have something else to say.
Say it. It just shows you don't have to do what I say.
Well, Chris is going to be moving to his car here soon anyway. He's got to go.
Yeah, no sure.
Right. Topic number 2. James McAvoy is desperate to play young Picard. The X-Men actor is adamant that he should be playing. Chris, you didn't tell me about my mistake, man.
I didn't have time to look at it today.
I told you, but you didn't listen.
Oh,
you did?
Oh,
You
I
did?
sent you the message.
Oh, I didn't
check
get
your
it.
first line.
Danny, he doesn't have grammatic discipline.
Ain't no big deal, bro. Go ahead.
Drop-
We know what you
drop-
got.
Yeah, it's
All
all
right.
good. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying. Usually, Chris is on point. He's like, "Oh, you made it."
I know. I'll be. It's my fault. But
Yeah, it is.
Funny thing about it is, I copied and pasted from the article. So
No.
that
What did I tell you?
That's even better.
What did I tell you? I want to kill.
I can tell you though, your backgrounds on that is hot. I like that.
Yeah, I do like that.
thank you.
So you are into
companies these
bald
days,
white men.
These articles and stuff. Nobody. I mean, I want to know how these proofreaders get paid. I want to know how in the world do they get paid? How do
They don't get paid. They don't get paid. They don't exist anymore. These people write their own shit at home and just.
You don't ever proofread your own stuff. You will miss every damn error, guaranteed.
Yeah, looks like they don't at all. You know, because I'm like copy paste, and
No, you're good. You're good. Though. We understand it.
Yeah.
Who are you, Colin Trevorrow?
Could be. All right. So the X-Men actor is adamant that he will be playing a younger version of Jean-Luc Picard eventually, no matter what it takes. Thanks to his role in the X-Men movies, James McAvoy has some experience playing a young Patrick Stewart, and the actor clearly enjoyed it, as he has now stated his plans to play a young Jean-Luc Picard in Star Trek. Would you be down to see John McAvoy play a young Picard?
I'm gonna go with James.
I want to go
Yeah,
first.
so will I.
But-
Yeah.
Whoever wants to go first, go right ahead.
Yeah.
I like to go. And I definitely want to see him. I think James McAvoy is very, very, very underrated. But his performance in Glass should let everybody know that he is very versatile, because he played about 12 or 13 different personalities, and and it was believable. I would be more than happy to see him play it. I want to see him. I'm pretty sure Kevin Feige probably won't. But if I was him, I would definitely bring him and Fassbender back as Magneto and
definitely.
Xavier. I would definitely snatch those two, because I think they were
Banger.
No.
Fassbender. That's his name.
Oh, okay.
That's
I was like fast banger. I was like, nice.
No, John, that's your name. So anyway.
Oh, sorry.
I can't pronounce his last name. It's something like that.
Anyways,
It's Michael Fassbender.
yeah.
Fassbender, whatever. I want to see those two back, because I think they were perfect as Magneto and Professor X.
Yeah, they played off one another really well.
So I definitely think it, and maybe he can salvage Picard. I never watched it, but from what I'm hearing, it was totally crap. which hurts my feelings because I'm a big Star Trek fan. So if he can breathe new life into that particular character, I am all for that.
You know what? I didn't think Picard was that crap, though. It wasn't great, but it wasn't crap. At least not to me.
Well, it's a lot of mixed reviews because just now John gave it a thumbs down, and you said it's pretty decent. So I mean, I guess it's a crapshoot.
I'm gonna watch it.
Like,
I'm gonna pick up Discovery too because I just gotta see the train wreck, I guess.
But you see, that's the thing. I like Discovery as well. I really like Discovery actually.
But I want to see this because I think it was a great way they changed it over. I liked the way they hand shook the two together, and it was literally a perfect handoff. I won't say the movies themselves were. I'm just saying the way that they handled it. It was a good way to hand it off to a different actor because the way they did it, it worked really well. They both Fassbender and him all played that part perfectly. I think he can pull off Picard. The problem is how are we going to do? Are we going to show it when he was on the Stargazer? Are we going to do a movie? Are we going to do a series? What are we going to do? And you have to really think about this because, and this is a problem I think that Disney ran into with Star Wars, and currently that people are running into with Star Trek, is that you have to have the people who understand what Picard was before the next generation. Because if you do an early Picard, that history has pretty much been talked about quite a bit. If we go and screw with things too much, unless you're doing some alternate timeline in Star Trek, which happens, you got to be careful with this. But yeah, I think he could be the guy if you got the right people to write it. Again, John constantly says it. It's the people who write it. They got to understand the part. They got to understand what they're writing, not just hand it off to somebody and say, okay, so what are we writing? Oh, I'm just going to write my own thing, and you guys just make it look like what you want it to look like.
You see, that's the thing. A lot of the people that don't like Picard and Discovery are the real hardcore Star Trek fans. You know what I mean? So those are the ones that are like, no, this is crap. I don't like it. But me personally, I was never a really hardcore Star Trek fan. So I can appreciate what they did with Discovery. I can appreciate what they did with Picard. I get it. You know, a lot of people are saying certain things about the show I don't want to say because you guys haven't seen it yet. But I kind of agree with some of the stuff that they said, but I still thought it was an entertaining series. Some episodes were slow, some were fire.
I think would be a good premise to do something. I don't know if you remember Star Trek, but I want to watch every episode several times. There's an episode called Mirror Mirror where they went to the East, and it was like a different parallel universe. But Spock and them was more evil and more aggressive. They could do a version of that, and James McAvoy could play a different version or a younger version.
They've already played the Picard clone thing, though.
They actually did that.
It's really not a clone. It's a different reality. It's not a clone.
No. I'm talking about in the Generations timeline in Star Trek Next Generation. Nemesis, was that the one?
That wouldn't be a clone. It would be a different timeline.
No, that was a clone that was taken from. It was cloned off of Picard. That was the whole thing. And I think was there time?
I'm understanding you.
Yeah,
I'm saying Mirror Mirror is not a clone. Okay. It is about a whole different universe.
All right.
Yeah, about the Terran universe.
Yeah,
I got you.
And they actually did that in Discovery. They had the whole Terran universe. It was first season. It was like maybe the end half of this season. They did the whole mirror universe. It was good. I liked it.
They did it in Deep Space Nine. They did it in Enterprise. They did it in Discovery. It's the same universe, but in different time frames of it.
Yeah, and that's the only thing that saves Star Trek most of the time, and why, even as a Star Trek fan, you have to understand that there's multiple timelines out there. In fact, it is probably the easiest one to write something new and just say, listen, that's not part of this, it's this. And I might be able to handle Discovery. It depends on if they follow basics. If they follow the basics, I might be able to handle it.
Well, who's seen Discovery here? Anybody?
I've seen a few episodes and a bunch of reviews of it.
I've seen both seasons.
And what'd you think?
For Star Trek, I was rather disappointed, but for something to sit down and I've said it before, and Danny's heard me say it several times, just to escape.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was pretty good. You know,
and I can do that. Listen, I wasn't the biggest Deep Space Nine fan, but I'll tell you what, Deep Space Nine as a standalone in and of itself is a great series.
Yeah,
so I was able to watch it. It was not my favorite. Well, it wasn't my favorite as far as Star Trek goes, but I did like that series because it was different. Nobody had gone there before. Instead of them traveling to everything traveled to them, and everything had to be handled there.
I wasn't real big fan of the captain though.
Cisco, I like Cisco. Cisco was kind of badass. I thought. I mean, he was.
Well,
I didn't think he was bad enough. Like,
no.
Well, after the first 3 or 4 seasons, Cisco finally grew a set. I think he grew a set when he lost the hair. You know, when he went and got the goatee, he grew a set. So
I think he went back to his Hawk ways. He used to be Spencer. I mean, Hawk on Spencer for hire.
Yeah.
That's the look he had on Spencer.
Yep.
And that's the look he should have had from the start on Star Trek. You know, a little bit more of the attitude as well, too. You know,
I understand why he had hair, because eventually they got to show the progression of the character and how he evolves, and sometimes hairstyles change, or
because you
hair at all disappears.
Worf,
you know?
Or you transition to something else. You never know.
Worf had the butch haircut in the beginning, but he had the nice long ponytail towards the end. So
hot, something to pull.
Yeah,
I agree.
All right, so we're all in agreement.
Hey! What about this guy?
Yeah, what about this guy?
My bad.
He waited, so that's good. I mean, reward him.
I'm so used to.
Not used to it, right?
Yeah, no, not at all.
I can play. As a guy. Okay, so first of all, initial question. James McAvoy will do great. He's a fucking brilliant actor. And I've talked to Michael about this multiple times. I go, 90% of the time, getting an actor who's actually passionate about something, it was like, I think you guys might have even brought it up about some actress who wanted to play the female Green Lantern. I was like, yeah, get somebody who wants to really do something. It's essentially how we got Ryan Reynolds to play Deadpool, a guy who was really passionate, wanted this to get done, was willing to put the extra effort in, and they're going to give you a quality product because they want to be there. Now, that being said, after watching Game of Thrones, Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, Terminator, Predator, Alien, after watching all of these franchises just fucking go into the dumpster, I'm sorry, man. Like, if James McAvoy wants to be a captain of a spaceship, just give him his own show. He'd do fine. If you want to, I'm like, Lower Decks looks funny enough, but I'll just go watch Rick and Morty.
It shouldn't fail because there's plenty of source material. The other one's not so much.
But, it's just one of those things where I just don't. CBS has a lot of agenda-driven stuff, just like the BBC does. That's why a lot of these shows are still getting made, even though there's not a big the original the fan base that you thought they would make it for wants nothing to do with it. And I feel like beating a dead horse is kind of rough. You could just move McAvoy into something a little bit more suited for him that isn't already going to be lambasted right out of the gate. So my whole thing is would he do a great job? Absolutely. Do I think you should put Star Trek on another piece of branding right now? I don't think so. I think you're just throwing gas on the fire at this point. Maybe wait a year or two.
Anzo, put up what Mike said, if you don't mind.
Yeah, this one here, Mirror Universe.
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree with what Mike said.
Well, it's funny. I don't know if you guys ever saw the Red Letter Media thing, because they're huge Trek fucking nerds, like super Trekkies. They actually had a cool theory, like, because they didn't really like the direction the show was going, and like everybody was like a little bit more like hyper aggressive and like just really not upholding a lot of the ideals.
Newest show,
Discovery, and they weren't holding like a lot of the Federation's like, you know, their ideals and stuff that originally made what the Federation was, this like idea of like a calm human collective that is just now going to not intervene but to just go travel.
And the Prime Directive.
Yes. And due to that, they were like, okay, this would have made sense if the big reveal at the end of the season was they were in the mirror universe, and then they switched it on its head for season 2. And I was like, that could have been really fucking interesting, because then you could have played with both dynamics and saw which one the fan base would have preferred. It would have been really interesting. But from what I've always seen, I just J.J. Abrams turned this like nice methodical idealism, serenity, utopia type show and turned it into an action thriller, you know, Battlefield Earth type.
I will
thing.
agree.
I'm not gonna lie. J.J. Abrams made me like Star Trek more. That first Star Trek movie, I love it.
You don't like the original Star Trek, also?
Not a big fan.
I
was never a big fan of it.
I look at J.J. Abrams stuff as Star Trek Light. Only the stuff.
Oh, there goes Danny.
Only the stuff that people who don't normally like Star Trek want to see action with Star Trek characters. That's what J.J. Abrams gave him.
Exactly.
And
that's what I want.
Your lemons. You need action or you don't pay attention.
That's what I want to see.
I enjoyed those movies, but I had to make it exactly what they technically make it, which is completely away from everything else.
Original timeline.
But if I have to watch a Star Trek movie, it's going to be Wrath of Khan still to this day.
Wrath of Khan to me is the best Star Trek movie.
You mean Star Trek Into Darkness?
No, Star Trek 2.
Not not Wrath of Khan. White.
I liked Into Darkness, so
it's such a lazy cop out.
No, I liked it. I liked everything they did, and I liked the fact that
one of those movies I watched. I was like, "Oh my god, why are they doing this?" And then when they made Kirk, when they did it with Kirk, I'm like, "Oh, come on, please!"
Yep, I love that 100%. You can't go back into the same thing. It's a different.
That's literally what they did. It's almost what the Force Awakens did.
Yeah, instead of the Death Star, we had Star Killer Base. Now instead of Kirk,
they did exactly the same thing. It's just the people who didn't watch the old shit didn't care.
Switched it around. They switched it around, right? They switched it to Kirk instead of, and I did enjoy that. The only issue that I had is they should have kept Kirk dead until the next one, but they brought him back in the same one, and I was like, well, it made no sense.
Then they could have done the search for Spock just like the other
one.
My whole thing is that lately, the last like 2 years, and I'm about to see it with Avatar Airbender because of Netflix. I think gatekeeping needs to make a comeback because I'm getting real sick of fucking watching these things go out to people who don't give a fuck about the lore. Like, it's really annoying the shit out of me. It really is.
Agree with JJ and Danny. I can handle it for disbelief, but if you're going to be calling it something, if you're going to be calling it Star Trek, please just try to honor what it is.
Don't buy the name if you don't want to make the actual product. It annoys the fuck out of me.
I'm gonna go with what Danny says.
Thank you.
If you buy it, you can do whatever the hell you want with it. And that's exactly what they did. And I have no issue with what they did.
They need to be.
Well, no. In all actuality, Chris, that is a good standpoint to have on it. But
thank you.
Try to stick some of the lore. I'm sorry, we don't F-bomb in Star Trek.
I know that kind of threw me too. That threw me. I'm not even gonna lie.
Try to stand by some of the lore. Go your own way with it, but you don't see Kirk and Spock walking around, kiss my ass, suck my dick, do this, do that. You don't.
I hope Elon Musk binds the moon and he just blows it up.
But I'm gonna reiterate what I
Go ahead,
Danny. I agree with JJ saying, but I'm gonna reiterate what I always said. Fans are FOS, and that's full of you know what. Because one day you'll catch them on YouTube and they'll be like, "That's not my Spider-Man. That's not my Kirk. That's not my Spock." And the next day, when somebody do something different, or no, they'll be like, "Well, I want to see something different. I'm tired of seeing Uncle Ben die. I'm tired of seeing Batman." Then when somebody do something different, they start yelling and complaining. So you can't have it both ways. If you want to see something different,
well, there's 7 billion people on the planet. You're gonna read both ways. The problem is which you have this whole thing is the idea like, oh, they bought it, whatever. They made something that has been beloved for triple decades, and they don't respect the people or the the people who made it or the fans that kept it alive for those 30 years. They would rather like fucking essentially whitewash it down to the most bland normal shit that we've ever seen. It's like they tried to make Star Wars the MCU, and it's like, no, Star Wars was special and MCU was its own thing. And then you see it with DC. DC tried to do their own thing too.
What I don't understand,
and that was the good thing. DC was right to try and make their universe dark. They tried to go different. My point is, if you're gonna,
I don't think they went different. That's why Suicide Squad failed. They tried to be Guardians.
But you're talking about Suicide Squad. That was after the backlash from Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman.
Because nobody liked that Superman.
Because they went darker, though. But that's my point. Exactly what Danny said.
I love watching Chris just fucking.
If they would have went with a regular Superman, then you would have had problems with it. They do something.
You don't know that. You cannot say that. You can't say that. That makes no sense. That makes no sense.
Yes,
prime example. Prime example, guys. I hate beating a dead horse about this, but prime example. Okay. We're going to talk about The Last Jedi real quick. Okay. Everybody's saying, oh, that's not my Luke Skywalker. Well, guess what, guys? They went and they took the property. They did something different with it, and now everybody's complaining about it.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. But here's the thing. This is what I have to say.
Now it doesn't make money.
Here's the thing.
It does.
Before I switch over to my phone. Here's the deal. If they want to change it, call it a different name, call it different characters, and just do it your own damn way.
But they don't have to.
They spent $4 billion just to fuck with something,
and they still made it. They still made $1 billion, right?
Chris, you cannot tell me that if you pay $4 billion for something and Chris Knight had a different idea,
if I had bought Star Wars, it would have stayed what they had.
You are inferring what other people will do. If I bought it, you know what I would have done? I would have gone to Reddit. I would have gone on YouTube and found people who have been writing fan fictions and this stuff who've been doing it forever and has a cult following.
Exactly. We have to have 10 damn thesauruses, a fucking damn interpreter.
But you're not going to do that regardless. So why not make it for? And then I have to say this all the time. You are going to watch anything. You will watch anything. You've pretty much already said that you will watch and consume almost anything.
Danny? No, he won't.
When it comes to Star Wars and stuff, you guys are going to go and you're not going to think about and you're not going to think about all the stuff. So why not make it for the people who are going to think about the stuff? Because you're going to watch it either way. And you're not going to care.
Don't ever sit there and
go ahead, JJ.
No, I'm just saying, don't ever sit there and say I'm never going to think about it, because I've been doing this since I was 4 years old. That's all I
wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the two that I'm on a show every week with, who said we've had this conversation with.
And I think about it all the time too. So I don't think about it either. Why you think I didn't like Last Jedi? I'm one of those ones that say that's not my Luke. But at the same time, I don't complain with what they did, because they had the right to do that. That was their choice to do that. You understand? They can't just sit there.
Well, I get that they have the right. I think it's shitty that they would be willing to do that.
They can't just sit there and make a movie for people that watched it 30 years ago. They have to go with the times. They have to move up. They have to adjust, and they have to make it for the masses.
There are fans that are like 15 and 20 that feel the exact same way, because they started watching it like years ago too, right? And fans are being made every day.
And the young fans that I know, and you can just look in the chat, he's right there, and Android loves it. So the young ones love it. If the ones that are complaining are us, the older generations, not the younger generations. Younger generations not complaining about Star Wars.
Anna, that Star Wars girl and Drunk 3PO and them would all beg to differ, but
they're our age. They're our age. That's what I said.
Yeah,
they're not Ninja's age.
That Star Wars girl's like 30?
She's in her 30s, yes.
Yes.
No. She's almost 30. She's in her very late 20s.
What I'm saying, like Denjord and sauerkraut, those are teenagers.
Right, exactly. And they loved it. They may not have loved it completely, but they loved it. That's
and I don't like it, but it's very profitable. That's why Kathleen Kennedy still got a job.
Actually, she's almost out the door. They're trying to bring George Lucas back, from what I'm hearing. And Rise of Skywalker made less, almost half of what The Force Awakens did. And Solo lost money.
$1 billion.
And Solo lost money.
And it was still going to do that regardless, because when Force Awakens came out, we haven't seen a Star Wars movie in 20 years, if not that longer. So, of course, Force Awakens was going to bring more people in. And a majority of the people liked Force Awakens. So that's not what stopped them from going to see Last Jedi. You understand what I'm saying? Just because it made less money, it had nothing to do with that. Force Awakens was going to make money because we haven't seen a Star Wars years in 20
But then Last Jedi made money, and then their drop off was extremely significant.
Yeah, but it made $1 billion.
Yeah,
Chris.
Oh my God, with that, I can't with that.
That is the mark now. That's the benchmark.
You can whatever, but that's the truth. Still made $1 billion.
But still.
Yeah, but we're going on here. Listen, that's like saying, okay, listen, the inflation, the way we are right now, movies are going to become billion-dollar movies just because they're released.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Okay, we are going into that.
I actually don't agree with that. But big tentpole movies are gonna make stuff just because of the fervor and people want to talk about it. Like, it's making the same argument that, like, you look at Game of Thrones, season 8 had some of the highest numbers that you could have for people watching it. Nobody fucking talks about that show anymore, and they canceled a bunch of prequels. Why? Because the writing turned into shit.
Yeah,
that's what happened, and it's exactly what happened with Star Wars. And
what do you got for Star Wars right now? What do you got for Star Wars?
We agree with you, John, that the writing is crap. Well, I will never ever say that you're wrong on that. But all I'm saying is that as bad as it is, and because of the fan base, it's going to make $1 billion. And right now, $1 billion is the magic number that people, the measuring stick that people are using now to critique movies. It ain't nothing that Mia Anzo made.
We are going into a place where, if it is a name brand movie, a Marvel movie, Tenet, Christopher Nolan's name's on it, Disney's name on it, we are going to go in the next 10 years, 5 years even, you're going to see more and more $1 billion movies just because that's how it is.
Captain Marvel would not have made the money that it did if it came out after Endgame.
I don't agree with that either, because
there's no way.
The reason why Captain Marvel made it is, we already said this. If you got that Marvel Studios on your moniker, you already gonna make $500,000, right? Just because it says Marvel until this Marvel phase dies out. That's just the facts. If you got Marvel Studios at the beginning of your movie, you're gonna make $500 million guaranteed. Anything else is doggone cake.
Damn right.
But that's the thing. I'm saying, and listen, I'm not saying it's going to be immediate, but we're moving into that. There used to be a time when somebody said $500 million for a movie, they would have thought you were freaking crazy. And now, Chris, if a movie doesn't hit that,
I hear what you're saying, but I don't agree with that.
So what you're saying is that $1 billion movies are still 50 years away. Listen,
I'm not saying that. I'm saying
20 years ago,
I don't even think Tenet's going to make $1 billion, to be completely honest.
No. It depends on the franchise. That's what I'm saying. Certain franchises, Star Wars, maybe Star Trek, but Marvel, and if DC keep improving after this Zack cut, those are movies that are going to be $1 billion. That's what we're going to expect. If it don't make it, we're going to say,
then why? Okay, I'm going to make a point here. I'm going to make a point. Then why the hell did Warner Brothers and DC expect B versus S to make $1 billion? And why are movie studios already projecting that type of thing if it's not something that's expected?
Because it was a Marvel and DC movie. That's exactly what Danny.
That's what I'm talking about. I just said that, though. I said that if it has a name brand on top of it, it's going to be sooner rather than later that we're going to start seeing nonstop $1 billion movies.
The normal movies are going to be $1 billion.
Han Solo lost money. Solo lost money. That had Star Wars.
And then turned right around and you have fucking The Rise of Skywalker, probably shittier than all the movies put together.
And
and it
still
makes
made
$1 billion just
Yeah.
because it has Star Wars on it.
Yes, but that's not what you
I'm
said,
just saying.
though.
That's not what you
That's
said.
Yes, I did. I said
earlier,
if it has, we are going into a phase where sooner rather than later, you're going to have $1 billion movies just because of the name that's on top of them until people say, I'm not going because I don't care that it's Marvel anymore. It's been shit.
If
Or
you're saying
I don't
it
care
has the
anymore
name-
because it's Star Wars. It's shit.
If you're
People
saying
are
it has the
going
name-
just to spend money.
If you're saying it has the name power, the name brand behind it, then I will agree with that. But your original statement was that it was going to be the norm. And before I finish the topic, I'm just going to let you know
I reiterate. I changed how I said it, and I added that as long as it has a name brand behind it.
Last thing I will say on this topic, because we're going to move on, is just so you guys know that all the movies that they've made in the history of movies, only 46 movies have ever hit $1 billion.
Yeah, and look at that and tell me how many of them happened within the past 5 years.
Right, because of the brand, though.
Yeah,
But that's what I'm saying.
more-
That's what I reiterated how I stated it, and I stated as long as it has a brand behind it, it's going to become the norm sooner rather than later. But like I said, I don't necessarily think that that's right. It's only going to be because of the brand on top of it.
And again, you could be right, but it also too depends on if people are wanting to see the movie and stuff like that. So it's
That's
not
like saying I'm wrong. Okay, that's like saying
Solo didn't make $1 billion.
no, but I'm not. But
And
listen,
it has Star Wars on it. So
but no, I'm talking about we're going into that. I'm not saying then.
okay.
And also, I would have to say it's really ironic you hold that position when the first question was whether or not theaters will even exist next year. People want to move to streaming, so I think hitting that bill mark is going to require more quality. I still maintain Joker did not make $1 billion because it had DC behind it. If anything, that was almost a detriment. When people realized it wasn't part of the DCEU, people bitched about that. And then when people watched it and didn't see Batman or some shit in there, a ton of DC fanboys fucking flipped out about it. But it still made $1 billion without China's money.
I agree with that, but some of that was name recognition, some of that was secondhand. Hey, you might want to go check this out. If the name of the movie was Bob or Danny,
yeah,
it would have made $1 billion. I don't think so.
It might have. Word of mouth is a really strong thing, because if you just don't call it Joker and change Thomas Wayne's name, you'd have nothing else. Like, it would just be another, because most people call it a ripoff of Taxi Driver and fucking King of Comedy, which it's so not, by the way.
When most people come back with word of mouth and say, "Man, Joker, you mean Joker with Batman?" Yeah, but it's a different version of Joker. That's how I see it on word of mouth.
I went to see it with the trailer, and people talk about it and make videos. And
if it had been Danny or John, they'd be like, "Yeah, Danny, the black guy on YouTube."
You could have changed everything about that movie that was DC related, and it still would have hit $1 billion, I believe.
I think so. You had like Joaquin Phoenix on it, and then if people went and saw it, it's fine. I think if anything,
but you gotta understand that.
Call it the Clown Master.
But you guys gotta understand, a lot of people that seen that movie were also comic book fans too, because of the name was Joker. Take that name off, and they don't go see that movie.
No, that's fine.
No, but the people who go see it gained more recognition after the fact because of the movie itself and what it was.
I definitely don't think it makes $1 billion.
They did it without China's money. They did it without China's money. I'm sorry. A $55 million film broke the bill.
We discussed that on our earlier film. You did without China. I think it's an anomaly, but I'm told I'm wrong. So we'll see. I'll wait patiently for that argument another day. But I just think that without Joker, it's not going to make $1 billion. That's all I'm saying.
People are not used to quality these days, and when you see something really, really well done, you see this like weird fervor of like everybody has this confirmation bias. They will go. I guarantee you, for every especially on Twitter, at least most people nowadays, people who really want to really take in like a product or like really discuss it because it's either something that they want to do for a living or it's something they have an interest in. I guarantee you almost everybody has 5 people that they do not agree with that they follow constantly to watch their videos and reviews, or they have and they have 5 people that they religiously go and get their basis. So pretty much if those 5 people hate it, it's like clockwork. If these 5 people love it, it's like, okay, good, I'm definitely going to go. But then you finally get one of those movies where it's almost like, oh, even people from the side that I'm used to not liking it like it, and it's the other way around. You start to see this weird disconnect, and people were really intrigued with that kind of stuff. And I would argue Joker did that really, really well. It was this weird thing where people who'd been making videos forever had this weird take, like for usually a political reason, which was really, really strange. But I don't know, man. I think word of mouth is really changing, and especially with how many people want to do podcasts and stuff on YouTube. I really think movies are getting rewatched and stuff now because of word of mouth. I think it's a big deal, huge deal.
Gotcha.
That's just where I'm at.
Yeah. No problem. Good stuff. It's all good. I completely kind of understand what you're saying, but me personally,
Dude, we're gonna have this argument until we're all in the ground. I'm pretty sure. So,
topic number 3 is the Falcon and Winter Soldier. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier will reportedly have a pretty interesting connection to Avengers Endgame, according to a new leak. According to the official IMDb for Falcon and Winter Soldier, Kawhi Joe and Leon Nego have been cast as Yokozuna Gang, or
Yakuza.
Yakuza, that's it. Members and Yakuza bike riders, respectively. Both of these actors were in Avengers Endgame when Natasha Romanoff tracked down Clint Burton in Japan. Do you want to see Hawkeye and the Falcon in the Winter Soldier or anything with the Yakuza?
I want to see Ronin.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think that you might get Ronin or Hawkeye in it for just a smidge, because I know they're still talking about doing that series, and I think that anybody that they might be doing a series about, they're going to show up in multiple ones of these, because they still want to keep that group idea together, but in minute amounts. So I think you might see that. But on the other hand, I'm not positive if putting these people from that scene in it, if that's going to have anything to do with the fact that he was there, or if it's going to have some other story plot for them. But I guess again, like I said, that does open it for a quick Ronin appearance, or I guess Hawkeye. I prefer to see Ronin. I would prefer to see, if they do the Hawkeye series, that they actually show him go completely to Ronin and change that over, because Ronin was much more of a compelling character, I think, than Hawkeye.
Sadly, I think Endgame pretty much resolved that. We just got to see the glimpse of him hunting people down. It would be really weird to retroactive turn him back into a murderer.
I still think you're going to see a lot of retroactive stuff happen. I'm
fine with Hawkeye coming in, because I think Jeremy Renner is great as Clint. I think he does a great job. I don't know, man. I'm already kind of salty because I always thought Bucky should have gotten the shield. Endgame kind of missed that whole thing with well, it's mostly just because I like Sam Wilson as Falcon. I think he's really, really cool with his gear, and I thought they just dropped the ball with like tying up a lot of ends with certain characters, and I thought that could have really worked in this show. But really, I want at least to have the Sam Bucky characters first before we start adding fucking people constantly, because I liked a lot of their interaction, especially in Civil War when they're sitting in the car and he's like, could you move your seat up? He's like, no. Like, I just funny, like little buddy cop. And the I can't remember his name to save my life right now, who plays Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie. He's really fucking funny. He's a good actor, and I think Sebastian Stan's really solid, and they both seem to really like playing this character. I really just want to watch them. I want to see the aftermath of them first, and then if you do something with Hawkeye, wait till the end of the season, maybe even till season 2. I want to see them get their show first.
I would have liked to see. I'm with you on the Bucky thing. I really think that they should have handed it to Bucky. But this series should have been Bucky as Captain America and moving it over to Falcon.
Bucky was known as a criminal and a murderer.
Why he needed to take up the mantle to prove he wasn't a murderer.
But the thing is they did it in this. They did it already, though. It's already set.
They did it in the comics too with Falcon.
They did with both, but I'm saying narratively within the MCU, since he was the Winter Soldier, and that's how people knew him. If he took up the mantle, it would give him a chance in the eyes of the world to prove that he's not a murderer and that he was under control. And
working with Falcon's going to be the same thing, right?
I don't know if that's going to work. I just don't. I think narratively they're just going to force it. They're just going to force it in, and I don't think they're even going to address the Winter Soldier stuff. If they do, it's going to be like 2 episodes, like Flashpoint or something.
They're not going to make this about him being a murderer. There's not going to be a damn thing about him being the murderer or whatever.
I'm sure it'll be like 2 episodes, but then once he comes running around, it'll be fine.
Listen, from the original.
They're going to go to racism, is what I think.
From original, the friend that Captain America had always had after he thought Bucky was dead was Sam Wilson. He was there through Cap's thick or thin. He deserved it. He deserved it.
Yeah,
Bucky
but
died.
Cap also dropped everything to save Bucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sam was right beside him.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that
Sam was right beside him. Sam could have went and teamed up with Tony Stark if he didn't agree with him, but he didn't. He was like, "No, I'm going whatever Cap does." He never
they're both on the same side then. But I'm saying we needed something for Bucky to
and you will get
I wanted him,
and that's why it's silly. I just don't think it worked. I
wanted Bucky. I wanted at the end of Endgame. I wanted at the end of Endgame for Cap to hand it to Bucky, and I would have been fine if Bucky had looked at him and go like, "No, this isn't for me," and then hand it over to. That would have been fine.
But what would be the difference of that, though? Like, what would be the purpose?
It's a nod to something that happened. It's a nod to the fact that he did take the moniker.
But we don't know if Bucky will ever get the moniker like that because we're not even there. Maybe he ends up being Captain America sooner or later. We don't know that yet. But now,
you don't have to make him Captain America if you just nod to it.
Well, you're going to have to give Sam the super soldier serum, or it's going to be stupid. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah. Sam knows how to. He knows how to use his tech. He knows how to use his tech. At the end of the day, all he has is a shield. That's all he's got.
But he's gonna mix his tech with the shield. He's still gonna have the wings.
You don't think that's gonna be awkward when he uses dual guns and he's like flying around and stuff? I know why you're happy that Sam got it. I'm not dumb, but at the end of the day,
why? Hold on. Before you judge me,
let's be fair here. We know why. We know why.
We
know why.
I want to know why. I want to know why you're saying why.
It's because you want to see the black man take the mantle.
You think that's why? Or maybe because
mostly because I'm making a joke and I don't.
Maybe because he was a comic book when he was Captain America. I used to read that. Comic.
They both held the mantle. That's where the joke is. I don't care. I'm more annoyed that we never saw a conversation between Steve and Bucky. All we saw was like a head nod and goes, "Oh, I get it."
Exactly.
We didn't get a conversation between the two. So the decision seems like it was this weird thing that was tacked on off screen, and I felt like if we didn't like Bucky with the shield, the show could have really worked with the transition between those two having the conversation. Because the duality of having the two friends, you have Bucky, who's the guy, they've known each other as long as we knew, at least from Captain America, the first Avenger. They knew each other and he sacrificed his life. And we also have to remember Cap was put on ice for years. So pretty much from Bucky dying to like him being in Winter Soldier, it's been essentially he's been awake for like a month or something. You know what I mean? Not a ton of passage of time for him. So he still has an emotional attachment to Bucky. But then you now have Sam, who's his connection to this world now, the future. So now he's got a best friend from his past and a best friend from essentially from his present now. It would have been really interesting to see them trade stories and figure out who got picked and that kind of situation. And I feel like because we skipped right to Sam getting it off screen, essentially, I feel like we just missed a lot of character development for both of them for a major decision. It seemed John. It just seemed strange. That's all. It just seemed really strange.
And
because I like Sam. I can't say it enough.
What do you guys have to say on this? Yep. I'm not going to argue with
that. About the particular show. No, I'm going to keep it simple. As far as these TV shows go, I don't really have an interest in them because I didn't see one I really cared about finding out about. There's only a couple things I really have an interest in seeing, and that's Doctor Strange and the Black Widow movie. The rest of Phase 4, Phase 5, Phase 20, whatever, can go take a flying leap off the cliff as far as I'm concerned. Because come on, Bucky and the Winter Soldier, that there's no point behind that, me personally, because we saw that at the end of the Endgame. Okay, if they want to expand on that, great. If they want to tell a little story about it, great. It don't interest me. WandaVision, throw it out the window. I could care less about it. I've never been a big comic book person, but as far as movies go, I find them entertaining. I know a little bit about most characters. I'm not like, oh man, that kryptonite didn't do that, or Bucky don't get these powers until then. I don't know all the details. I just know it's just another form of entertainment for me to digest. But if I have no interest in it, I'm not going to watch it. That's the way it's always been. Because just case in point, I still catch shit because I haven't seen Jaws.
You bad man.
Yeah, people say, you claim to be a movie buff?
You're a bad man.
Jaws? You know, see, I see the pistons firing in John's forehead right now.
Oh no, Michael hasn't finished Lord of the Rings, so don't worry. You're not the worst person I've met yet.
Oh my God, Chris, when did you pick up Ethan Peck?
Hold on.
And Danny?
Also, you brought up WandaVision. I will only give a shit about that show if Multiverse of Madness is any good. That will be the only way I give a shit about that.
He's going shopping, so I have to hold the phone.
Let me guess. You like science, right?
Like which one?
Y'all, well, see, that's a Discovery reference because somebody's talking to Spock on Discovery, and he goes, I like science.
Yeah, I know. They show that shit all the time.
But they're like science bitches or something like that.
What did you have to say on the subject, Danny?
I don't have a problem with Bucky becoming Captain America. I feel pretty sure that Winter Soldier is going to have his turn at the Shield, Phase 5, whatever the next phase may be. I'm kind of like JJ. I don't really care which one get it. I would like to see both of them because I'm trying to educate myself on both of them being Captain America. I do agree that he's going to have to get some kind of serum. I don't think it's going to be super soldier, but it's going to be something to enhance his skill set. I'm not sure what it's going to be. Maybe something that I forgot the formula that Nick Fury took, but it kind of slows his aging and stuff. I think I read somewhere that he's going to get some kind of boost to his skill set. But I'm curious to see how Mackey's going to take on that character. I think a lot of it, Chris and both John said they prefer Winter Soldier, but I prefer whoever has the prize who he chose. And for whatever reason, Captain America chose Sam. So you got to respect his choice. I understand and hear both arguments. I can see both sides of it, but if the man who was the man decided to give his title and moniker and shield to whoever he chooses out of respect for his choice, I'm going to support that. So that's basically how that is.
My argument is I just wanted to see it on screen. It just sucked that such a big thing happened off screen.
Well, What do you want, man? It was a 3-hour. What do you want?
Cool. Then make it a 3 hour and 15 minute.
What was off screen though?
The conversation about like why he picked Sam over Bucky. It's just because we didn't see the Bucky.
Well, him and Bucky had some kind of conversation before we get on that thing.
But that's what I'm saying. He just did like a head nod, and we just have to infer that. And I'm like, oh man, we've been with these characters. We had the entire Winter Soldier. I mean, he's been in all of his movies, and we just didn't get a conclusion for it.
Even though I have no interest in seeing the show, but there's nothing to say that there might some be back tail of that in the show.
Oh no, hopefully there is. Hopefully there's a lot of, maybe for all we know, it's fucking Disney. They probably got like an hour of footage they shot when they had all those people around to go. All right, we'll pepper it in on this one and pepper it in here.
You have no way of knowing what's going to be in the show.
No, it's what we're hoping for. But I'm saying we're in a.
You might even see, hell, the Guardians in there somewhere. You don't know what the show's gonna.
But we're just at a time right now where we're always constantly saying, hopefully the next thing will fix it, or the next thing will fill it in, and it's just kind of like, oh man, like could we
You're the only one that think it needs to be fixed, though. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm not the only. Don't say that. I'm not the only one. I'm probably the only one on this panel.
No, I don't think it needs to be fixed. It's fine. They did what they did. I'm happy with it. They gave it to Bucky. They gave it to Bucky. Wouldn't have made a difference to me, but they gave it to and that's
it ain't no different. I don't care what it is, because welcome to the internet, ladies and gentlemen.
I want every single detail seen. I want every single detail. Every single detail.
That's also not what I said, but okay.
Oh my God, Bucky's taking a crap. Hey, let's find out why.
Yep, and there's the hyperbolic straw man bullshit that I hear all the time. Like I need to see them go up every single step, or I don't know how he got there. That's when you guys don't.
I got a problem. Bucky's shit was green. What did he eat earlier?
Well, he's obviously not got enough fiber. Drank too much last night. I told him to chill out.
Damn it, Danny.
Look, man, getting your brain scrambled will apparently fuck up your bowels too. I don't know how that works.
Oh God.
Well, guys, it was a great stream. Thank you for coming. We're just gonna go around one last time and gonna let the people know where to find you. We're gonna start off with Mr. John, my co-host on Equilibrium.
My dad left.
You know what? You know why you picked me first?
Yeah, because it's gonna take 2 hours to get through your shit. So
if you want to figure out where I'm at, just
what did you have today?
Look at the handle down south, and or just replay from the beginning and watch the whole stream again, and you'll figure out where I'm at. So there you go. Thanks for having me on, boys.
Oh, that was quick. Wow.
Hey, Chris, you look different. Nice to see you.
I'm just gonna say I'm Chris Jr. and my dad's YouTube channel is The Real Review 3000.
Look at that. We already like you better. Good job.
Look at you, eh? You take your father's job from him.
Well, I hear him say it like half the time when he ends the streams. So
You done know.
It's kind of hard not to memorize it.
Mr. Danny Graham, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
You can find me on multiple channels. Later on tonight, you're gonna find me on Rob Storm on Storm Live. We'll be talking that, and I'm gonna tell them what we're gonna talk about on that. But you can find me on Saturdays and Sundays, Square One on Saturdays, and Equilibrium on Sundays, Rule of Three on Sundays, and on Mondays. This upcoming Monday, we'll be doing our top 5 favorite 1999 movies on Chaotic Conversations. Please catch
Excellent. Can't wait for that. I have my movies already. Dandelion Puff, thank you for coming. On, what's up, brother? Enjoy, what's up? JJ, tell the people where they can find you.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy JJ. You can find me on many different channels. I'm kind of a stream whore at this point. These guys at Chaos Central are nice to have me back on. Shut up, Chris.
I taught you well.
Oh, yeah. I'm learning. But
he's back now, so let him do his thing.
Yeah, you can find me also on my own channel. I do a weekly live stream called Randomness at its Finest. The panels random, topics random. between 10 and 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, PM. And you can also find me right here, which he hit it at the moment, at SithWard3827 on Twitter. Sometimes I tweet, sometimes I retweet, sometimes I don't. It's a lottery. Come find out. And once again, guys, thanks for having me back on here. I enjoyed it.
No problem. Thanks for coming on. Like I said, panel is great. Chris, you want to tell the people your son did it for you, but you can go ahead and.
I'm proud of him. He has a voice. I love that. I love that.
Did a good job.
And he probably did it quicker than I will. Yeah, I'm Chris Knight, Real Review 3000 here at Chaos Central. You'll find me on Danny's channel, this channel, which is Onzo's, Big Afford Entertainment. My channel, The Real Review 3000, over on Sith.
God,
his channel,
so much quicker
everywhere. Hey, listen,
I am fucking roasted.
I am. Yeah, my son does that to me all the time.
Babes.
Listen. I am the original stream whore who teaches stream whores how to be a stream whore. So get that right.
And
I want your son to take your place.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
I'm thinking about it.
Whatever. I do plan on having him come jump on my channel occasionally to do stuff. So yeah. But no, guys, again, always a good time, guys. JJ, John, Danny, Onzo, I love doing these with you guys. It's a great time.
Absolutely great. You guys know where you can find me, Big Afford Entertainment. We have a ton of shows we're going to be on later with Mr. Rob Storms on Storms Live. I appreciate you guys coming. I appreciate the thanks for the 100 subs. I appreciate everything. Trust me. Subscribe to these guys on the panel. Everybody is great. They all have great content, and I'm happy just to be a part of it. So with that being said, guys, peace. We are out.
Yep.